The attorneys and counselors at Barbas Law handle workers' compensation, personal injury, and Social Security disability claims. Each week in our Know Your Rights segment, Catherine Stone provides some insight to some of the key issues. And today she is back with more on workers' compensation and subcontractors.
Right.
Which I'm assuming, since it's a topic, there's got to be some in-depth knowledge you want people to know, right, Catherine?
And in particular, I'm talking about subcontractors in the construction industry. So there's a whole set of different rules that apply to in the construction industry with regards to workers' compensation.
Okay.
So, for instance, a general contractor typically gets hired for a job. Let's say to build a house.
Okay.
But that general contractor and his employees typically, not always, but they subcontract out certain portions of the job. The baseboards, the crown molding, the installation of the AC units, whatever it may be.
Okay.
But in the world of workers' compensation, if a subcontractor that general contractor hires does not have the proper work comp coverage for his employees, then it goes back up to the general contractor. And so we call it climbing the ladder. So in certain instances, and I've just had a couple of these cases, I've had them over the years, but they have multiple subcontractors. So a GC will hire someone to do the whole installation of the drywall, but drywall also includes baseboards, but the company that they've hired also subcontracts something that I learned about punch-out work. And because my guy was the punch-out worker. Okay. And he ended up getting hurt on the job, and his employer was claiming he was not an employee and that there was no coverage. And so I said, okay, who contracted with you? And so we literally went up the ladder to find and we did eventually find one of the subcontractors who had coverage. We didn't even have to get all the way up to the general contractor. So for anyone in the construction industry, whether you're an employee or whether you're the person hiring the employees or the subcontractors, there's a database that the Division of Workers' Compensation has on their website where you can go and determine whether or not that company has workers' comp coverage. And typically these jobs should be asking for proof of coverage when they're hired. Now, your typical employee may or may not know about this. They just get called by somebody and they say, hey, I've got a job, come on the site, and that guy gets hurt. Well, what I typically tell clients is the moment someone steps foot on that job site, somebody's covering them. And so it doesn't matter whose fault it was or whatever, somebody's going to cover that guy. And we're just going to have to keep going up the ladder. So to protect yourself, either as a subcontractor or a general contractor, I would hope you know that you need to make sure that every subcontractor you hire, you need a copy of their proof of insurance. And you need to make sure and check the dates of coverage. Because in this last case, the coverage had been provided to the contractor, but it was for the wrong dates. And it was for the wrong named employer. Oh. So just, dot your I's and cross your T's.
And do it before it's not too late. Like I said, right when you step on that work site is when you probably need to take care of this.
Because what ended up happening was a subcontractor in this case who thought that they would have no skin in the game, their work comp ended up having to pay out a large sum of money.
Oof, they ended up being involved. Well, good to know. Again, we appreciate your tips for everybody out there. If you've got questions for Catherine or have anything for her law firm, we'll be sure to give them a call, 1-800-BARBAS-LAW, or feel free to go to their website as well. Catherine, thank you for coming in.